Okay, so I watched this review and it's stupid and I hate it and I just wanted to share it with you guys and just break it down and what it says is stupid. Um anyways, I don't even know who this guy is. I genuinely don't care enough to remember what his channel is even called. Please don't bully him. I gotta vent about this.
Superman 2025 is not a good movie.
False.
That's probably a hot take right now,
Yup, because it's a bad take.
but it's true.
Nope.
Its script possesses the same lazy, contrived, idiotic writing as the slop Marvel's been pumping out for years.
Maybe you just dislike superhero movies.
Just because it's DC, and just because it's Superman, doesn't exempt it from the same critiques people freely lob at crap like Quantumania or the Marvels. I only ask that you hear me out before dismissing me as a hater.
Okay, let me hear it.
Honestly, I wanted to like this movie, but I was let down by a poor script.
The script was fun and interesting, and personally, I think James Gunn knocked it out of the park. It was a very good superhero movie script, and also just a good script.
Defenses of Superman primarily boil down to tone and theme.
And cinematography, and the script, and the writing, and the acting, and people have been talking about literally everything about this movie and being positive about it. I get that you don't like it, dude. Those are not the only two things people like about this movie.
It's a bright and hopeful movie with a Superman that smiles and saves people, and its themes revolve around choosing who you are and sticking to your ideals. That's all well and good, but tone and theme do not a good movie make. I think Yoda said that.
Young Skywalker. A good movie tone and theme can make, along with the other things that Too Much Fire already mentioned! Ah!
If these things aren't properly supported by quality writing, then it's only superficial. It's not much different from liking a movie because of its VFX or cool action scenes. Let's tackle tone first. The source of this positivity and hope is Superman himself, specifically his worldview. He helps people because it's the right thing to do, good for goodness sake. But Clark's characterization and his character arc make for a rather faulty foundation.
Why?
This is exemplified in how the movie challenges, or doesn't challenge, Clark's worldview.
What about Lex Luthor? What about Lois? What about Green Lantern? What about Mr. Terrific? What about Hawk Girl? What about everyone in the movie disagreeing with him except for his parents? You know, contrasting and questioning his worldview.
Superman intervenes in a foreign conflict. He prevents the invasion of Jarhanpur by Baravia. When Lois interviews him, she obviously asks about this event, his intentions, whether he considered the consequences, how the world perceives his actions, etc. Yet he seems completely caught off guard by this, and is comically ineffectual at defending himself.
What is so wrong about people asking why you don't want people to die and getting upset or just, passionate about being kind to people?
Superman, did you consult with the president before entering Bravian airspace?
No.
The Secretary of Defense?
Nope.
The results of you seemingly acting as a representative
I
of the
wasn't
United States
representing
will cause
anybody
more
except for me
problems around the world
and
war in a war that
myself
lasts
and
12 to
doing
24 hours.
What was so bad and childish about what he just said? Honest question.
He freely expresses his bias against Baravia,
Because they're killing defenseless civilians.
and even admits to threatening and torturing its president. He acts like it's no big deal, and Lois is overacting by being concerned.
And I placed him against the cactus.
Torture.
No, not torture. Its spikes were not even that big. I told him that if he ever messes with Jarhanpur again, he'll have to personally answer to me.
What did you mean by that?
Maybe Superman isn't perfect, and maybe the script is trying to tell you that and show you why he's not perfect, but that maybe, regardless of being perfect, he's just doing good. Maybe. Just food for thought.
Clark's in his 30s. He's a journalist, and has been Superman for 3 years. He has no business being this naive. It doesn't make sense.
Maybe Clark is human, and 30-year-olds aren't perfect, and even news journalists aren't perfect. Maybe that's what the movie is trying to tell you, Mr. I don't even remember your name, because I didn't read it.
I'm not saying he has to be edgy or pessimistic, just not retarded.
He's not being dumb, and also, don't say that word. You're being very bigoted right now, dude.
Now, if it were handled better, this could work as set up for a character arc. Perhaps by the end, Clark realizes he needs to think before he acts.
He actually has this exact arc because he stops and thinks and allows other people to help him out. At the end of the movie, he doesn't just rush in headfirst immediately. He uses his brain. That's the whole point of the movie. That is the whole point. You missed it. You missed the thing you were asking for. Why are you choosing to dislike this movie?
He can still do good and save people, but he needs to be smarter about it. He can't just barrel into a complex situation and do whatever he wants.
It's like he does that in order to stop the war and close the rift. And also, that's how he beats Ultraman. It is written into the whole story. What are you talking about?
The movie takes a different route, despite stressing the complexity and nuance of Baravia Jarhanpur situation. By the end, it all gets flattened into something cartoonishly simple. Baravia evil, Jarhanpur good. End of discussion.
Maybe there's a message you're missing, which is, yeah, Superman is brash, but he uses his head and he asks for help in order to save these people. But also, we find out that Baravia is fully with Lex Luthor by the end of the movie, so they've got to be stopped. But maybe the message that it's trying to give you isn't that, oh, you can just be dumb and run into things. Maybe the message is, you should think and do things correctly, but maybe the world should be a better place. And I don't think that's bad. I think you are disrespecting the tone, the message, and the theme of the movie.
Clark never has to square his idealistic worldview with the complexities of the real world.
Maybe it's because the complexities of the real world suck, and what Superman is providing doesn't suck, and it's good, and it's awesome, and it's hopeful, and it's better than whatever you are saying should be accepted. Maybe that's the message, that we shouldn't have to settle for mediocrity and hatred, and maybe we can hope for a better place. And I think you missed that.
Reality bends to accommodate him. You know what's a movie that does this kind of conflict justice? Captain America's Civil War. Cap's ideals are continuously challenged by other characters and tested by the realities of the world. He's forced to make sacrifices for what he believes, and there wind up being major consequences for his actions. But in Superman, not so much.
A man dies because Superman has ideals. That's a consequence.
As for the themes, the movie espouses that your actions define you, and that you get to choose your own destiny. Initially, because of a message from his Kryptonian parents, Clark believes he was sent to Earth to do good by serving humanity. However, Lex recovers and translates the corrupted second half of that message. He broadcasts it to the world, revealing that Superman was actually sent to Earth to rule over it. His parents wanted him to kill haters, and this turns the world against Superman. First of all, there are ridiculous leaps in logic to get to this setup.
Nope.
Lex somehow gets the Kryptonian decoded in a day,
Because he is a billionaire and this is a sci-fi setting.
despite no one on the planet having any reference for this language.
Once again, not the real world.
There are currently languages that people have been studying for hundreds of years that still have not been translated.
You're dumb!
He somehow convinces the world the message is real, even though no one has any reason to believe him.
He utilizes the best people at translating languages, and even Mr. Terrific is convinced, based upon the people who are translating it, who aren't Lex Luthor. It's almost as though the smartest people in the world are corroborating this take.
I know this computer forensics guys. They're not gonna say it's legit unless they are sure. There's no way that message is fake.
And like a comedy skit, everyone instantly turns on Superman without a second thought, including literally the people whose lives he just saved. It's comical.
Maybe this movie is a comedy.
Second of all, this issue was never actually resolved. Lex is revealed to be an
Dunk.
and suddenly everyone likes Superman again, even though nothing's changed.
Besides him saving the world.
The message is still real, and there's been no change in Superman's actions.
Showing that he has true altruism regardless of what others think about him and what they might misconstrue about him.
He saves everyone, but that's what he was doing before. It didn't seem to matter then.
Except it did, because all of his close friends, and even just people he saved, like the news reporter you're about to show, still believed that he was still doing good. Lex Luthor, on the other hand, who you're also about to show, is the one spreading misinformation about what he wants.
What about all the kind acts Superman has performed over the years, saving countless lives? No, he's grooming us, lulling us into complacency so he can dominate without resistance.
About this caption you have right here, yeah, it is real. That doesn't change the fact that Superman isn't doing it for those reasons.
Arbitrarily, the world decides it loves Superman again,
What's arbitrary about liking someone who saved the world?
sweeping aside a conflict that wasn't really resolved.
Maybe there are people who still don't like Superman. Like the movie shows, at the end of the movie, how the government officials still are a little unwary about him.
Third, and most important of all, the message has virtually no impact on Clark's character.
What?
He's sad about it, but it has no bearing on his actions.
He literally breaks down in front of Lois. He also just decides to be himself and to try and figure out what he's doing. And it causes him to have inner conflict just because it's not outward conflict. He's dealing with an inward issue and he resolves it with his parents by figuring out what he's feeling. Do you need him to outwardly be like, oh man, I'm gonna open up a podcast? Like, no, he can deal with that on his own. What's this complaint?
It's business as usual. This concludes with a conversation between Clark and Pa Kent, a character that's barely in the movie.
And this character who is barely in the movie has a huge impact in the movie. Screen time does not denote importance. It just denotes how many minutes he was on screen.
He tells him his choices define him, not what his Kryptonian parents wanted him to be. It's a wonderfully acted scene, but it rings hollow when you think about what's really going on here.
What? No, that's... What?
Think about it. What is Clark's internal conflict meant to be? Continue to be good like always, or become evil because that's what the parents he never met wanted? Wow, what a dilemma. Whatever will he choose?
The dilemma is not whether he should choose good or evil. The dilemma is, what was his purpose in being here? Pa Kent puts it beautifully by saying, you get to make that, and I support you. By showing that it's not his biological parents who get to decide what he should be, it's him, and that as a good parent, his father will support him. What is wrong with that?
This conflict would be more compelling had his Kryptonian parents not been evil. Make their message more reasonable. Make it a genuinely difficult choice that Clark is forced to make.
Again, that is not the conflict that the movie decides to focus on.
Perhaps even connected to the other major conflict of the movie. When and how should Superman get involved? But no, it's reduced to a boring black and white decision.
Once again, not the question the movie is asking.
Just like the previously described Baravia-Jarhanpur situation. As a result, both these integral elements of the story are broken. The movie raises these questions and quandaries, only to say, nah, never mind, by the end.
The movie has already addressed both of these.
That's not to mention the movie's numerous other issues, such as how retarded Lex's master plan is.
Firstly, don't use that word. Second, the megamaniacal maniac has an insane plan. Ooh. Yeah. 'Cause Superman's the GOAT!
Last name man, first name super!
The tonal whiplash.
If not today, then
It's funny. Once again, it's a comedy.
And the faulty world building.
Why is it faulty?
I think Superman will suffer the Force Awakens effect. For now, people will hoot and holler their praises for it, but over time, the hype will die down, and people will start to realize how deeply flawed it really is.
You did not convince me of a single point of yours.
Honestly, not a great start to the new DC Cinematic Universe.
Disagree.
Thanks for watching. With special thanks to channel member whatever. Thanks, bro. If you like this video, hit the like button, and consider becoming a channel member today. Stick around, check out my other videos, and until next time.
No, thank you.